Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've heard about very serious changes in Uzbekistan. And now I'd like to show you a very interesting video about 7 most interesting facts about Samarkand, which is the most ancient cities in the Middle Asian region. And for this video, one website, www.go2us really helped me. And if you have any opportunities or possibilities to work in Uzbekistan, like in the sphere of business or just investing, please go to this website, www.go2us, and press the button, and you'll see all the information about business and investing in Uzbekistan. And welcome to our project, Go2us. Thank you. The fact number 6 about Samarkand, holies of Samarkand. And I think we have to start from Imam al-Bukhari.
That's the great idea. We should
Why?
start over here. So Imam al-Bukhari is one of famous persons of Islamic world. And
I'd like to say the most famous one, yeah?
That's right. He is really famous all over the world. And he is well known as a scientist of Islam.
Sure. And I've heard about hadith.
Yes.
What does it mean, hadith?
Hadith, these words of our Prophet Muhammad, what did he say, what he did to do, and everything. It's like a unique complex of Islamic people.
Nice. And Imam al-Bukhari, he collected all the hadiths, yeah?
Yes.
By himself. And as I know, it was, firstly, it was approximately 700,000. Yes? Is that correct?
Yes, it was almost 700,000 hadiths, but not all of them they were right, because we should figure out which is right, which is not right, which is
we could say fake,
truth.
yeah?
Yes,
yeah,
indeed. And when he had almost the same problem, we know interesting legend about it.
Oh yeah, please tell me, yeah.
Yeah, so once upon a time when Imam al-Bukhari was in a garden, it was a windy, very interesting garden with a lot of flowers and trees, and he asked Allah, please God, help me to figure out which is the real one, which is the fake one, which is more true.
And all the hadiths were in himself, yeah?
Yes, he collected all of them in paper sheets, and they were on the table, and turned the wind. Can you imagine? It was a really strong wind.
It's like now,
like
yeah?
that, yes. And all papers were flying around, and just 7,000 of them, 7,000 hadiths.
Approximately, yeah?
Approximately. They came back, and...
Imam al-Bukhari?
Yes.
Wow. Nice. And that time I've heard that here it was a very horrible situation around his tomb. Nobody knew about his tomb at all, yeah?
That's true.
And it was the period of the Soviet Union, yeah, a former Soviet Union, and we know very well that religion has been absolutely forbidden in that time.
Yes.
But the situation changed approximately in 1915, 1916, when Mr. Khrushchev was the president of the USSR. because at that time the president of Indonesia, Mr. Sukarno, he visited the USSR and he told them that I have to start my official visit from Samarkand because I'd like to see with my own eyes the tomb of Imam al-Bukhari.
Yes.
And the time I think was some confusion.
Yes.
They sent special commission from Moscow,
Yes.
yeah, from Kremlin here.
Yes.
When they saw this situation, it was just a village without any conditions.
Yes. It was.
I'd like to say
horrible.
in the quarters, of course.
Yes.
But Mr. Sukarno was on his way, and they've got just, I think, 10 or 15 hours.
Yes.
They prepared a special way here,
Yeah.
and just the tomb was here, yeah,
Right here.
yeah, right here, yeah. And what happened at the time?
It was really dark time when he came. It was night.
They've done it on purposely, yeah.
And purposely, so
Yeah.
they had an excellent idea to hide him.
Yeah.
Don't show how was the situation in here.
The real situation.
Yeah, the real situation, and they brought him in the evening to don't show what was in fact.
Yes,
So, but Sukarno decided to stay here.
he was a smart guy.
He was a smart guy. He prayed this night, and he continued till the morning.
Pray all the night here,
Yes, he prayed all the night here.
and in the morning, of
And in the
course,
morning,
he
yes.
saw the real situation. Yeah.
That's true.
Was it some deal between him and Mr. Khrushchev?
And it was a really interesting fact about it.
Yeah.
They had a good conversation. Sukarno said, "Okay, Mr. Khrushchev, let me take his
Tom.
tomb, and I will give you equal number of gold. How many kilos he weighs?" It was excellent deal. It was-
Sure.
yes, but you know what happened. right?
Yeah, yeah. All the imams they said, how dare you?
Yes.
It is absolutely forbidden in any types of religion. And of course, what we're going to say to our new generation. And I think Mr. Khrushchev wasn't so stupid as we can imagine. And he didn't do this deal. And I really appreciate it, And that time, it wasn't so good time because Mr. Khrushchev, he was, against all the, Western European countries, the UK, the United States of America. That's why he tried to have a very good relationship with all the Muslim countries.
Yes.
That's why all of them, when the presidents from those countries tried to visit the former Soviet Union, the first step was from here.
Yes.
Yeah, but the situation didn't change, very globally. Yeah, because just in 1998, yeah, the
Yes.
president of Uzbekistan, the first president, Islam Karimov, he prepared everything for this because it was a jubilee. Yeah,
Yes.
1,225 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was a jubilee, it was an anniversary, and it was a special event, not for only Samarkand people, it was a big event for all Islamic world.
Sure. At the time, this mausoleum has been built.
Yes, it was constructed at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah. This mosque.
Mosque.
Yes.
Right.
The main entrance and the museum. Yeah.
Yes, that was a museum, and there we can find a lot of gifts from Islamic or not Islamic countries as well.
So the last question.
Yes.
Imam al-Bukhari, he was born in Bukhara. Yeah, we can know it from his full name. But why he passed away here in Samarkand? It's another place.
So we got real answer for the question. So once upon a time when he came back from his pilgrimage after his education, he came back to Bukhara, and in the next day he got 12,000 students. Can you imagine? In the next day of his staying in Bukhara,
I can't imagine.
a lot of people, and he had more affection to the people than the ruler, the real one, who has to be.
Bukhara and Emir.
Yes, Bukhara's emir, and actually he didn't like it. He wanted to
Sure.
find some reason,
Like a
to
real
kick him.
politician, yeah?
Yeah, to kick him from the city. It was a real kind of battle.
And the reason was?
Reason was once upon a time, and he wanted to force him to do some actions. It was impossible to wait Imam al-Bukhari to make any actions. He did interesting way. He sent him his envoy to his house, and he asked, okay, Imam Bukhari, you won't teach the kids of local people anymore. You will teach only kids of the emir, no one else.
And it was a must.
It was a must. And Imam Bukhari got really upset because he was a lot of years in pilgrimage. He got a lot of job with his education, and it was unrespect for him. And he said, if students wants to get education, if he wants knowledge, he must become his teacher.
Yes.
Yes, and he said,
and not vice versa.
Yeah, and said, I won't go to the palace of a king, and I won't teach his kids in his palace. His kids must to come to my house, and as a usual students, they should study in my house.
And it was his fault.
Yes. And after these words, he was kicked from Bukhara, and he got a lot of messages from Samarkand people. And they received him, they accepted him in here in Chelak village.
Chelak village, it is approximately 25 kilometers from Samarkand city.
Yes. Small town.
And he lived here, yeah?
Yeah.
He was 60 years old.
60 years old.
He didn't have any family or children, wives, yeah?
Yeah, he wished all of his life for the religion.
I think it was a very difficult time for him because he heard some gossip about himself, some bad news, yeah? And it was a special legend about that, yeah?
Yeah, it was an interesting legend that tells how Imam Bukhari decided to leave us.
Yeah.
When he heard a lot of negative gossips about himself, he asked Allah. He said to Allah, Allah, your big world is so tiny for me, and please take me with you.
And it was
the next day.
It was in 1817, the 1st of September.
Yes, and he left us, and he died when he turned 60. And he was buried in the local cemetery of Chelak village.
Which is here.
Yeah.
I think not just representative from Islamic world, but everyone has to visit this place because his character, his personal characteristic of Mr. Imam al-Bukhari was a role model even in our day.
Excellent example.
Yeah. Thank you, and we have to go on.
Yes, we will continue.
Let's go. So the next holy person in Samarkand, Hajja Khizr.
Yes, Hajja Khizr.
Yes, and it is his mosque, yeah?
Yes, this is his mosque, and this is one of the first mosques of Central Asia that was constructed by Muslims.
Yeah, to which year?
It was in 11th, 12th century.
Oh, yes. So any tourist who can visit Samarkand, they have to visit this place because it was a guy who saves, all the tourists,
and the travelers as well.
Travelers as well, yeah?
Yes.
Interesting. It was a very interesting legend about him. Could you please tell us?
Yes, sure. I would like to tell you the first legend about the constructing of the mosque.
Sure.
And then we will switch to your favorite legend.
Yep.
If the people don't know where is the Mecca, they can pray in any direction because they don't know. And
definitely.
When they were planning to construct the mosque, they didn't know where was the Mecca, and they wrongly directed the mihrab, which was a direction for Mecca, and it was slightly in different direction. So came Hajja Khizr, and he showed the right direction. And because of him, now the name of the mosque is Hajja Khizr.
Oh yeah.
That's the first legend.
So, and this is my favorite one. Please tell us.
Yes.
I like it.
Once upon a time, the travelers and traders, when they were camelback riding and traveling, and they were stopped by pirates of that time, and they were killed, and the gold was stolen, and their goods were stolen, and they were died.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was a really horrible situation, and came Hajja Khizr.
Yeah.
And he always used to hold with his storage water, holy water. And when he came to that people who were
and saw this picture,
and he was wondered, and he was shocked, and he wanted to try to figure out what's going on. And when he found out, they are completely died, he decided to heal them.
Yeah.
Even it was almost impossible. He got the water, he sprinkled that water, and he prayed, and he was in rush. So that's why he
didn't see that it was a lot of women and men.
Yes, and he couldn't figure out whose head is that, whose body is that, and he changed some parts of the body.
And in the consequences after that, we can meet a very talkative man and very smart women.
Yes, that's true. It's an interesting legend about Hoca Khizr.
And in the consequences, even in nowadays, we can meet very talkative men and very smart women.
That's true, definitely right.
Nice. And it was our fact number 6 about Samarkand. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go.